Hi, I'm Pandora Scooter, and you are watching Out at the Center.
Let's do it. Let's do it. Take your time. Let's do it. Let's do it. Let's do it. Let's do it. Do it right. Come on, baby. Let's do it. Let's do it.
The Right Reverend Gene Robinson was elected as the first openly gay, non-celibate Episcopal bishop in 2003. While supported by his congregation in New Hampshire, the election has caused controversy and struggle in the Anglican Church worldwide. Robinson visited the center and discussed his recent book, In the Eye of the Storm. He talked about his civil union with his partner for 21 years, Mark Andrew, and his ongoing effort to encourage LGBT inclusion in the church. You can download the entire discussion as an audio podcast. Visit gaycenter.org/out for the link.
Out and Faithful proudly presents, as part of our 25th anniversary programming, the Bishop Gene Robinson.
Wow, look at all of you. I didn't know there were this many gay people in New York. The rumors are apparently true. It is just wonderful to be here. This is my first time at the center, and I'm so impressed. This is sort of a big year for me because I've got the book called In the Eye of the Storm that's just come out, and the civil union, and then of course my participation or non-participation, depending on how you look at it, at the Lambeth Conference of Bishops. I'll say more about that in just a moment. Let me start with the recent news. Who would have thought we would have lived to see what we've just lived to see in California and Massachusetts and all those things? What I think we're seeing, particularly with the addition of California, is the beginning of a sort of a tsunami. I mean, this toothpaste isn't going to go back in the tube, you know? I figured 20 years was enough of a trial period with my partner, and I can attest to the fact that the first 10 days has been pretty good. The day of my consecration, when Mark and I were strapping on our bulletproof vests, our daughters were naturally worried about us. And, you know, it gave me the opportunity to say to them, you know, one of the great rewards about being a person of faith is you come to understand that death isn't the worst thing. Not living your life, now that's a bad thing. If something happens today, you will know beyond any doubt that as best I can discern it, I am doing what God wants me to do. And it doesn't get any better than that. Faith is what let me do this, and to not be afraid. I just before putting on my bulletproof vest, before my consecration, I took an hour's nap. I slept like a baby. And it's part of what I meant about being swept to the center by God. I could no more have done that myself than fly to the moon. I named the book In the Eye of the Storm. One of the priests in my diocese, who's now my assistant, and actually who presided at our civil union, brought me this little piece of calligraphy that said, sometimes God calms the storm, and sometimes God lets the storm rage and calms his child. And that has sort of been my mantra. The subtitle is Swept to the Center by God. I don't think we ever find our way by ourselves into that center calm place, but I think God will bring us there if we're open to being there. This upcoming Lambeth Conference, just sort of a quick introduction to the bizarreness of the Anglican Communion. Once every 10 years, since 1868, the Archbishop of Canterbury has invited all of the Anglican bishops to meet with him. And in 1868, of course, not all that many could make it to London, and there were a lot fewer bishops. And it met at the Archbishop of Canterbury's residence, the Lambeth Palace, and hence the name, the Lambeth Conference. Now it takes place in Canterbury on the campus of the University of Kent. And for the first time since 1868, a duly elected and consecrated bishop has not been invited, and that would be me. But I'm going anyway because, yeah. I just think those guys, and they're mostly guys, thank God we've got, I think it's between 15 and 18 women now, most from the American church. But I don't think they ought to be allowed to meet as if you and I didn't exist. And I want to be there to remind them that we are part of their flock, we are part of their church, and they dare not remember us.
And that's all for this excerpt from Out at the Center. If you want to see the full show, check it out on our website at gaycenter.org/out. Until next time, I'm Pandora Scooter. Power to the peaceful and love to all. See you next time.